Okay, good day, eh? So, just offering up my thoughts on the Saskadelphia EP that was pretty much surprise dropped last week. We didn't hear about it till a day prior to it coming out, and yeah, it was on Thursday, and I was so hyped because one of the band members said, yeah, there is some stuff in the vaults, and we're going to try to get it out there, and lots of stuff that the fans haven't heard yet. And what a great choice. Hopefully there's a lot more coming, but what a great choice to start with. So Saskadelphia is an EP, so it's not a full-length album. It's 6 tracks, and it's basically from the Road Apples session, which the band wanted the album to be a double, and I guess because it was only their second full length after Up to Here, the record label said, nah, we're not doing double. I mean, it's even hard for like a established band of 30 years or 40 years, like Fleetwood Mac, Say You Will. Like Lindsay wanted that to be a double, and think of how incredible that would have been. But the record label said nope, too expensive, and it's like, they're the best-selling American band ever. Them or the Eagles, and even the record label didn't want it done then. And like, it's hard to get your double album made. You have to be like the Beatles, unless you're doing it out of pocket, like the Clash did. Um, anyway, but yeah. So basically, if you're a fan of the Road Apples era, which I love Road Apples. It's probably my third favorite hip record, and it starts off one of the best 3 album streaks in rock music, in my opinion. So yeah, if you're familiar with that and you like that one, check this one out. There's a lot of people going like, oh, should I, check this out first if I haven't heard the hip in album form at all? And I would say start with Fully Completely, or again, Road Apples, or just grab the 2005 greatest hits. It will have you covered and kind of steer you to what era of the band you might want to go for. Um, but yeah, shortly after that, definitely check this out. And all the fans like me were clamoring to go get it. This is pretty expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It was about $30 at the independent record store. I noticed it took a few days to get on Amazon and at some of the you know bigger big box store retailers. But yeah, it was like $30 for, that's usually what you would pay for, a single LP release, like an actual album. But hey, it's the hip, right? But I feel like maybe the record company was getting a little greedy there. So it starts off with Ouch, which people have said is kind of akin to Twist My Arm. And one person even said, oh, no wonder they didn't put Ouch on the record, on Road Apples, because they probably had to choose between Twist My Arm and Ouch. But they're in the same vein, but they're not the same track at all. And man, Ouch hits hard. And, Gord really, strains his vocal cords in a good way. And it's a little different every time, how he goes, ouch! Very animated, very fun. It's got that, blues meets rock shuffle that they were doing back in 1990 or whatever. Not necessary, kind of points to where the band would be like 15 years later. It sounds like the songwriting of, the very established hip by the time they got to In Violet Light, or, 15 years rather after this material on In Between Evolution, or even the one after World Container. It's very much more succinct. It doesn't have, it shakes off a lot of the blues styles and the rawness, and it also, it's very succinct and kind of almost adult contemporary. Very catchy, great chorus, just like Ouch, could have been a single. And yeah, it's funny how it really points to later works by the band. It doesn't really sound like it's from this era, so very forward thinking. And then Montreal, which I'd love to hear an actual studio recording, but they put in a live version. So everything else on here is studio, but then they put a live version of Montreal. So I really want to hear that studio version from 1990. And this is live from the Molson Center Montreal, of course, December 7th, 2000. So around 11 years after the Montreal massacre, which was kind of a they say it's a misogynistic massacre. This awful killer, I can't remember his name right now. I think it's Mark something. Gunned down 14 women and stabbed another, and there were like 10 to 14 more injuries. Some men were included in that too, but it was definitely an attack on women. And so it's a pretty heavy track, of course, obviously, and really shows why this country is so fascinated with Gord and his lyrics and the band in general. So it really establishes that well. And yeah, as a live version, it sounds really good. He shows a lot of restraint because the material is more heavy. Then you go to side 2 and you have Crack My Spine Like a Whip, which is a lot of fun. And I know one review I was reading, I don't usually read reviews, but they compared it to Lionized, and it's kind of that same kind of Roll King rocker. Very good. Also, all of these could have been swapped out with Road Apple tracks, to be honest. Like, maybe not Twist My Arm or Little Bones, but yeah, they could totally make the record. I read another review that said, oh, I can see why these were left off Road Apples. No, I don't get that at all. If Road Apples was a double album, it would have been just as good or better based on these tracks. Just as well as, oh my god, it's a lot of fun. I said it for 2 of the other songs, but could have been a single. I mean, I could see people singing this out in the pubs and that. I guess that's just as well. Yeah, just a lot of fun. Very bluesy again. They kind of shake the sound off as years progressed. A little bit, shake it off on Fully Completely, and then it's pretty much gone by Day for Night. There's traces of it, but you know, they were very much doing that kind of style, and this is a shining example of why they were so good at it. And then Reformed Baptist Blues is probably one of the hardest and fastest the band has rocked. Faye is just going ham. He's going really hard and fast on the drums there. And yeah, the first time I listened to this, Ouch really stuck out, and then I listened more and more, and this is a solid entry. I really like this archival stuff, and I hope they have some more coming. That would be amazing, and I was just so excited for this dropping, and rushing out to the record store, trying to make time on Friday to go get it, release day, and you know, listening to it on Spotify, but of course, having the physical media. Would hate to be in one of those trailers, I'm gonna be honest with you. And the handwritten Gord lyrics, and I wasn't expecting this, but it's like grayish. I don't know, that's not charcoal, but it's kind of grayish. Very cool, and actually sounds really good. I always get excited and antsy at the same time when I see colored vinyl, but usually it sounds okay, and this one's nice and hefty, and it sounded great. Especially the guitars, everything sounded really crisp. The vocals don't sound quite as upfront as maybe on the CD release or the streaming, but it sounds more like live, the vinyl. It sounds really good. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I wanted to say, just offer my thoughts, put them out there. I don't do reviews too often, but maybe it's something I can do more. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Big ups to all you hip fans out there. And yeah, just keep on loving and keep on rocking, everyone. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.